Hello everybody, I am Dr. Sonali Pawar, working as an assistant professor in English at Dada Patil Mahavidyalay, Karjat. The topic of my video lecture is verbs. This topic is for BA First Compulsory English paper. So, the reference book I have used is the textbook of BA First Compulsory English paper, Literary Glimpse. Let us see first the parts of speech. In English grammar, there are 8 parts of speech. They are noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Seema, Hari, girl, boy, student, these are the nouns. He, she, it, I, we, these are the pronouns. While play, work, wash, again am, is, are, will, shall, may, must, these are the examples of verbs. Other parts of speech we will see in the next video lecture. Then what is verb? The word which describes an action in the sentence is a verb. There are two main types of verbs. They are main verb and auxiliary verb. Then what is main verb? For example, play, work, wash, drink, speak. These are the verbs which describe action mainly. So they are known as main verbs in the sentence. Main verbs are subdivided into two types. The first is regular verbs and second irregular verbs. Then what is a regular verb? The simple past tense forms of regular verbs are formed by adding ed to the stem. The verbs which take ed form in simple past tense form are known as regular verbs. Sometimes we have to use ied or d form also. See, for example, ask. By attaching ed form, we can make simple past tense form of ask as asked. Asked further is past participle form. In the same manner, cry, cried, dance, danced. In this way, it is easy to remember past forms of regular verbs. Then what is the difference between regular and irregular verbs? The past tense form of irregular verb is very different from its stem form. It does not formed by attaching just ed or d form. See, how is it? Eat is the stem verb and ate is its past tense form, which shows that this is irregular verb. It is completely different from eat. Ate is completely different than eat. And see the past participle of it. Eaten. Eat, ate, eaten. See, saw, seen. Know, knew, known, etc. There is no simple rule to remember irregular verbs. The next main type of verb is auxiliary verb. We have seen that the main types of verbs are main verb and second is auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs help the main verbs to denote the action. See, what is the auxiliary verb? They are also called as helping verbs because auxiliary verbs help the main verbs to denote the action. Auxiliary verbs accompany the main verbs to form grammatically correct phrases. See, for example, Ram is playing football. In this simple single example, is an auxiliary verb while play is the main verb. And this is auxiliary verb helps the main verb play to denote the action. and it gives is playing gives us grammatically correct phrase. So, auxiliary verb plus main verb are essential in grammar. Auxiliary verbs are again of two types. As we have seen, main verbs are of two types, regular and irregular verbs. In the same manner, auxiliary verbs are also divided into two subtypes as primary auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliary verbs. Primary auxiliary verbs are used to express tense, voice, etc. of the sentence. See, for example, the verbs like be, do, have, these are the examples of primary auxiliary verbs. And the examples, he is watching television. She does sing very well. They have worked hard. Now see, he is watching television. This is primary auxiliary verb decides tense of the verb. Is shows that it is in present tense. Again, it decides the voice of the sentence that he is watching television is the sentence in active voice. So, primary auxiliary verbs are used to express tense and voice of the sentence. Modal auxiliary verbs are used to express several meanings like probability, certainty, orders, requests, etc. The examples of modal auxiliary verbs are can, must, shall, etc. For example, may I come in? In this question, the speaker requests somebody to let him come in. Second example, she should go to office now. This is a compulsion, should. So, may and should, these are the modal auxiliary verbs. Now see, we have seen the verbs divided into two main types, regular verbs and main verb and auxiliary verb. Main verbs are further subdivided into regular verbs, irregular verbs. Auxiliary verbs divided into primary verbs, modal auxiliary verbs. Now, this is an exercise for you. Question number 1. Identify regular or irregular verbs from the following sentences. And question number 2. Identify primary auxiliary verbs or modal auxiliary verbs from the given sentences. I hope you can understand, you have understood this video lecture very well, and so that you can do this exercise also correctly. Thank you.